The author of the MBTI instrument, Isabel Briggs Myers, realized that people with the same personality type sometimes behave quite differently, and she believed that each of the four dichotomies, meaning each of the four acronyms in the MBTI personality, is made up of different parts. She called them facets. So in the 1940s, she began to work on a tool that would identify the individual differences within each of these 16 types. Within the decision-making process, the first facet is the ideal decision-making strategy between the thinking and the feeling. So for thinking, they look more at logic, and it's the core of their thinking personality or preference. People with this logical facet tend to believe that the best way to make sense of the world and the residents is through reason and logic, and they find that feelings are less reliable in relationships than fairness, reason, and respecting rights. Empathetic belongs to the feeling side, and this is more of the core of a feeling person. They really are empathetic, and they tend to place relationships above everything else in their hierarchy of importance, to the point of feeling that their basis is life's meaning. They are universal, and personal truth is attached to people and the people's feelings. Second is their standards for decisions and relationships. Thinking persons are reasonable. They appear as someone who uses logic and solid process of reasoning to confidently make decisions on a daily basis. A feeling person, however, is more compassionate. They're going to show a lot of mercy, and they're even to the detriment of being fair sometimes. They love to see people happy, and they love to see people as they are. Handling differences of opinion. This is tricky for this particular group. In the thinking facet, they're going to question more, and they're really described as people who like situations where the problems are solved through debating, challenging, questioning just about anything, which not only helps the individuals in the areas of agreement, but also is going to help them to reduce some of the flaws or mistakes that may occur. Whereas a feeling person is going to rely more on accommodating. They want harmony above everything else. Harmony is really the foundation of their personality, and they're going to avoid confrontation and critique because they want to please as many people as possible. The general responses to the initial decision is very different for each of these types. For thinking, they're critical. They are individuals who believe that an impersonal criticism is necessary to get to the bottom of every problem. They want to remove the flaws, and they want to be able to create a perfect plan and to get a very reliable decision. Otherwise, they won't be able to get the desired result. And accepting is the facet for the feeling side. This is someone who wants to find solutions that are going to be a win for as many people as possible. Stephen Covey called them win-win situations. And this is going to be by tolerating the viewpoints of other people, and they expect that others will tolerate their viewpoint as well. Lastly, the impact of the decision. For a thinking person, they are more toward the tough side of the spectrum. They want to look at the situation and take a stand on the decision. And they're going to see the best way to show support for all of the logic and the data that went into that decision. A feeling person tends to look more at the tender side. They care about where their goals are, but they care about them in the relationship to other people. How are other people impacted? They want to understand the different viewpoints, even those that are in opposition, and that everybody must be respected.